Let's see the structures passes between the constrictor muscles. The structures which are going to pass above the this upper border of the superior constrictor muscle through this sinus of Morgagni, they include the auditory tube, levator veli palatini muscle, and two arteries. One of them is ascending palatine artery by the facial artery and the palatine branch of the ascending palatine artery. Now, the structures passes between the superior constrictor muscle and middle constrictor muscle. These include one muscle, that is this stylopharyngeus muscle, going to arise from the styloid process. So this is the stylopharyngeus muscle, and along with the stylopharyngeus muscle, nerve will also passes through it, and this is the glossopharyngeal nerve. The structures passes between this middle constrictor muscle and inferior constrictor muscle. This include the internal laryngeal nerve and the superior laryngeal vessels. The structures passes below the inferior constrictor muscle, and this include the recurrent laryngeal nerve as well as the inferior laryngeal vessels. Now let's see the inner longitudinal muscles of the pharynx. The inner longitudinal muscles include the three pairs of the muscles: stylopharyngeus, palatopharyngeus, and salpingopharyngeus. Here in this figure, this is the disarticulated schematic figure of the different structures from where the inner longitudinal muscles of the pharynx are going to arise as well as insert. Let's understand how these inner longitudinal muscles are actually present within the structure of the pharynx. As we already know, the constrictor muscles are the outer circular muscle group, and these inner longitudinal muscle groups, they are situated inside the pharynx. So out of these three muscles of the pharynx, the stylopharyngeus muscle, as the name suggests, it is going to arise from the styloid process. It is the muscle which gets origin from outside the pharynx and has to enter inside the pharynx. So this muscle, it is going to insert inside the pharynx along with the other two muscles of the pharynx. This palatopharyngeus muscle, we have already learned this muscle into the soft palate, and this salpingopharyngeus muscle, both are the muscles which are situated inner side to the pharynx, because the auditory tube opening, that is also having one opening inside the lateral wall of the nasopharynx, while the soft palate, it is also inside the pharynx. So that's why these two muscles are within the pharynx and they are already inner to the constrictor muscles, while the stylopharyngeus muscle, it is outside the constrictor muscles, because the styloid process is situated outside the pharynx, and that's why it has to enter within the pharyngeal cavity. So now let's see the stylopharyngeus muscle first, but before that let's draw the constrictor muscles with this green pen. So here this is the constrictor muscle, superior constrictor muscle, now let me draw the middle constrictor muscle with the different color. So this is the middle constrictor muscle, and far below this is the inferior constrictor muscle, having the horizontal lower margin because of the cricopharyngeus muscle. So this is the superior constrictor, this one is the middle constrictor, and this one is the inferior constrictor of the pharynx. Now this stylopharyngeus muscle, it is going to arise from the base of the styloid process, and this styloid process, it is lateral to this constrictor muscle, so we are not able to see this muscle until it comes out from the gap between the superior constrictor as well as the middle constrictor. So this muscle, it is the stylopharyngeus muscle. Where it is going to exactly insert, we will talk with the other two muscles. So this is the stylopharyngeus muscle, and this stylopharyngeus muscle, it passes between the external as well as the internal carotid artery before entering into the pharynx. The palatopharyngeus muscle, we have already learned this palatopharyngeus muscle in the soft palate, but for the quick revision, let's see, it has the anterior fasciculus, which is going to arise from the hard palate as well as the upper surface of the anterior aspect of the soft palate, and the lower fasciculus, it is going to arise from the lower part of the upper surface of the soft palate. And both these fasciculi, they are converge and they are going to insert at the three sides. One of them, it is going to insert with the opposite fellow and going to form the Paswan's ridge, and the other insertion site at the median fibrous raphe of the pharynx, while the other fibers, they are going to pass downward and join the salpingopharynx as well as the stylopharynx to form a conjoint tendon, and this conjoint tendon, which is going to insert over the posterior border of the thyroid lamina. Now these fibers, they are passes under the palatopharyngeus arch, which is covered with the mucous fold. The third muscle, that is the salpingopharyngeus muscle, it is going to arise from the auditory tube as the name suggests, and this muscle fibers, they will passes downward and going to join the conjoint tendon formed by the three muscles of the pharynx and going to insert at the posterior border of the thyroid lamina of the same side. And this salpingopharyngeus muscle, it is known to be the third head of the palatopharyngeus muscle. This stylopharyngeus muscle, it is going to be supplied by the glossopharyngeal nerve, while the other two muscles, they are going to be supplied by the cranial part of the accessory nerves via pharyngeal plexus along with the three constrictors. The stylopharyngeus muscle, it is the muscle of the third pharyngeal arch. When these muscles get contract, it will elevate the thyroid cartilage as well as shorten the pharynx at the time of the swallowing. And this palatopharyngeus muscle via this Paswan's ridge, it is responsible for the closing of the pharyngeal isthmus. Now, after completion of the areolar cord as well as the muscle cord from outer side to inner side, let's see the submucous cord inside the muscular cord. The submucous cord, it is made up of thickened membrane, and that thickened membrane extends from the base of the skull and it is going to fuse with the inner aspect of the constrictor muscles. So we can see this thickened membrane only at the upper border of the superior constrictor muscle when we see the pharynx from behind, and this thickened membrane, it is the pharyngobasilar fascia, and this pharyngobasilar fascia, it is also called as pharyngeal aponeurosis because of its thickened appearance. And the most inner aspect of the larynx contains the mucous cord, which is actually lined by the pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium in case of nasopharynx and stratified squamous epithelium in case of oropharynx and laryngopharynx. So when we see the structure of the pharynx and see it from outside to inner side, first we will see the buccopharyngeal fascia, which is a very thin layer. Then under the buccopharyngeal fascia, we will find the outer circular layer, which is made up of the three constrictor muscles. And inner to the three constrictor muscles, we will find the inner longitudinal group of muscles, including three longitudinal muscles we have already discussed. And inner to this longitudinal muscles, we will find this pharyngobasilar fascia, and just inner to the pharyngobasilar fascia, we will find the mucus cord. So these are the structures of the pharynx from outer to inner side. So we can say this muscle cord layer, it is covered from outer side by the buccopharyngeal fascia and the inner side by the pharyngobasilar fascia. When we talk about the nerve supply of the pharynx, all the muscles of the pharynx, including constrictors as well as the three inner longitudinal muscles, these all are supplied by the cranial part of the accessory nerve except the stylopharyngeus muscle, which is a muscle of the third pharyngeal arch, and that's why it is going to be supplied by the nerve of the third pharyngeal arch, that is glossopharyngeal nerve. While this sensory supply of the nasopharynx, it is via the pterygopalatine ganglion, while the sensory supply to the oropharynx, it is via the glossopharyngeal nerve, and the sensory supply to the laryngopharynx, it is via internal laryngeal nerve. When we see the pharyngeal plexus, the pharyngeal plexus, it is formed by the four branches, and the main and most important branch, that is the branch of the vagus nerve, and this branch of the vagus nerve, that is the pharyngeal branch, which is actually carrying the fibers from the cranial accessory nerve. The second branch, which is going to form the pharyngeal plexus, it is the pharyngeal branch of the glossopharyngeal nerve, which is present somewhere here, which is going to enter within the pharynx through the gap between the superior constrictor and the middle constrictor. The third branch, which is going to form the pharyngeal plexus, it is via the superior cervical ganglion of the sympathetic trunk. So here we can draw the sympathetic trunk, and a branch from the superior cervical ganglion, and the fourth branch, which is sometime helpful for formation of the pharyngeal plexus, which is the external laryngeal nerve, which is a branch of the vagus nerve. This plexus lies on the buccopharyngeal fascia, which is present most outer side to the pharynx, and it covers the middle constrictor muscle. The vagal fibers are motor. These glossopharyngeal fibers are mostly sensory, while the sympathetic fibers are vasomotor in function.